I believe we have a really good opportunity here
I
because
think so too.
you're interested in rebranding your agency,
Absolutely. Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Tell me what the perception is right now and what you feel you'd like to change.
Yes. Okay. So right now I'm CK & Co.
Mhm.
When I came out of the gate, it was landing pages, Facebook, and Instagram ads. As I've taken on clients that I love, it's expanded into this big, beautiful thing where now it's marketing that works for your company, right? This isn't just digital. This is marketing that works for your company. Where is your audience? What is your audience? What are they hungry for? Do I need to get on the phone with local business owners and find out what your audience actually wants in your demographic, right?
Right.
So it's just transformed into this big, beautiful thing, and it's beyond me now. So it's CK & Co. I'm Chelsea Catherine. It's
Right.
not going to stay that way. So I want to really build this ecosystem, this company of just, I don't know the right word for it, but I just want
Well,
people to feel so loved when they work with
okay.
our company
Well, let me just
and get results.
let me interrupt you just with this one idea
Do it.
before I forget.
Do it.
Have you thought about calling it Big Beautiful Thing?
No, but I like it.
Because you said it twice, Big Beautiful Thing.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like you light up when you say that.
Yeah.
And so it seems to me like, number one, it's got scope. Number two, it's got beauty, and beauty takes on all kinds of things, but usually in the form of collaboration, in the form of their company, in the form of your goals and your services.
Right.
And a Big Beautiful Thing doesn't have any particular limit.
It doesn't.
Or any particular characterization. So in other words, you're not working strictly with you're brand agnostic, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So that's why was my first thing out of the gate. I may have no other idea after
That's
that.
okay. That's all
that may
right.
be the end of it. Martians landed.
Yes.
Wearing Prada suits.
Yes.
Drinking Henry's seltzer.
Yes.
Chewing juicy fruit.
Yes, and?
Your branding here.
Yes, brand.
Your message here.
Yes, and?
A verse about
Yes.
your product here.
Yes.
I'm Hirsch Redmond.
Yes, and?
I'm a message therapist.
Yes.
And I have a podcast.
Yes, brand.
That's right, that's it.
Yes.
We'll help you fix the world.
Yes.
Or your bottom line.
All right.
Your bottom line.
Get it. I get it. Welcome to the Yes Brand Podcast.
Okay, welcome to Yes Brand. We are here at the lovely Sheraton Salt Lake City in Salt Lake City, Utah. And my guest today is Chelsea Catherine. Chelsea is committed to the idea of giving a shit about her clients. But other than that, I don't want to say too much, but welcome, Chelsea, to the show.
Thank you so much.
And let's do what we always do here on Yes Brand and give us your best one-floor elevator pitch.
One-floor elevator pitch. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I own a digital marketing company, but we don't just stay digital because we actually give a shit. So it's about taking our clients on, finding where their audience really is, right? So is your audience actually in print? Is your audience actually in digital? Finding out what your audience actually wants and then committing to making that happen so that you are a beautiful, successful company. And I guess that's.
So what kind of companies do you work with?
So we love working with, of course, coaches, course creators, people like that. But we do have some one-offs like some med spas, anybody we can be personal with. Really, that's what's biggest to us is somebody that we can be personal with and somebody that we know we can actually make a difference with them. So that's what's most important to us.
I find that too, in that the personal connection has always been the underpinning of every client relationship I've had.
Yes.
Like it doesn't matter. I've had people who are beverage clients. I've had people who are fitness clients. And I've had people who are in the advertising industry, like we were talking about before, commercial production and post. It's not really about that.
It's not.
It's about the connection that we have with them and also what they need.
Yeah.
People will often, tell us what we need,
all the time,
and we have to say, this is what we need. This is what you need.
Right.
And how did you get into it?
So I was actually at an out-of-home advertising company in Las Vegas and COVID hit. And there was some buzz right before COVID that was like, hey, a lot of people are pulling their budgets and they're going digital. They're not going to be as out of home. We did experiential there too. So we did all kinds of stuff. But I kept saying like, hey, I'm investing a lot in learning landing pages and learning a lot and investing in this. Can we do this? Can we try this? Can we try this? And I got a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
And I'm not somebody who takes no very easily. So then it was like, okay, well, then I guess I'm just going to go do it on my own.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, all right, well, you guys are going to take me seriously. So like, this is awesome. But I was very transparent about it. I was
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm learning this. You guys want to do it? No? Okay, I'm going to do it on the side. Okay, well, now this is my business.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's been an incredible journey. I've got to meet amazing people that I wouldn't have got to meet otherwise. So I'm really thankful for it.
Okay. Now, I believe we have a really good opportunity here
I
because
think so too.
you're interested in rebranding your agency,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that. Tell me what the perception is right now and what you feel you'd like to change.
Yes. Okay. So right now I'm CK & Co.
Mhm.
When I came out of the gate, it was landing pages, Facebook, and Instagram ads. As I've taken on clients that I love, it's expanded into this big, beautiful thing where now it's marketing that works for your company, right? This isn't just digital. This is marketing that works for your company. Where is your audience? What is your audience? What are they hungry for? Do I need to get on the phone with local business owners and find out what your audience actually wants in your demographic, right?
Right.
So it's just transformed into this big, beautiful thing, and it's beyond me now. So it's CK & Co. I'm Chelsea Catherine. It's
Right.
not going to stay that way. I'm going to bring in people who are better, far better at me than some of these things, right? Like I'm not a designer. I want an amazing designer. So I want to really build this ecosystem, this company of just, I don't know the right word for it, but I just want people to feel so loved when they work with
Okay.
our company
Well, let me just
and get results.
let me interrupt you just with this one idea
Do it.
before I forget.
Do it.
Have you thought about calling it Big Beautiful Thing?
No, but I like it.
Because you said it twice, Big Beautiful Thing.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like you light up when you say that.
Yeah.
And so it seems to me like, number one, it's got scope. Number two, it's got beauty, and beauty takes on all kinds of things, but usually in the form of collaboration, in the form of their company, in the form of your goals and your services.
Right.
And a Big Beautiful Thing doesn't have any particular limit.
It doesn't.
Or any particular characterization. So in other words, you're not working strictly with us. You're brand agnostic, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So that was my first thing out of the gate. I may have no other idea after
That's
that.
okay. That's all
that
right.
may be the end of it.
And I love it. I think that we're kind of living in a world where like brand is very basic.
Yeah.
Right? Like my brand right now, I'm showing you my card. It's gold, it's black and gold. And it's basic.
Yeah.
It's basic. So
Well, it's Hawkeye colors because I'm in Iowa City, so you have the Iowa Hawkeye colors.
Right.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait. It's basic.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but
It
it's
is beautiful.
basic.
This is how they do it on talk shows. Her new album is called Chelsea Talamantes, and it's coming out on Chelsea Catherine Digital Marketing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This weekend.
Should we play a song from the album?
That's right. Yeah. So what inspired you to do this album? Do you sing? Do you like to sing?
Nobody wants to hear me sing.
Oh,
a little
okay.
bit of Baby Shark here and there, but
Oh, okay. Well, you can't do that wrong. It doesn't go badly.
That's true. But
Okay. So let's say as an option, you take your name out of it because you don't want it
It's
to just
beyond
be you. It's beyond you.
yeah.
You know? And by the way, I wouldn't use the name It's Beyond Me because I think
I don't know.
I think it could be taken the wrong way. Somebody
might.
would say, "Hey, Chelsea, can you help me with my new launch?" And you say, "Well, it's beyond me." And they go, "All right."
Oh,
And they
okay.
walk away.
I
and
really thought you were going to be able to help me, but
yeah, right.
I get
It's
it.
beyond me.
I understand.
Well,
a
it's
little over
beyond
your
me.
head.
So it's bigger than you.
It is.
Now, when you're trying to figure out who what the audience wants, what your client's audience wants, how do you go about that? You mentioned talking to businesses.
Yeah. So, I mean, I love to use this one example of a med spa that we work with that thought that their audience wanted discounts. They thought that their audience wanted Botox. And I got frustrated because what they kept telling me wasn't necessarily working. So I started calling local businesses in their area and saying, hey, have you heard of this company? Well, yeah, but like we all have our Botox person already. We all have this already. Give me something that they have that other people in the area are offering so I don't feel like I'm crossing a boundary with the relationships that I already have. Okay, cool. So now we find out what they have that's an offer that other people don't have. It's not just a generic discount, but it's
Right.
a product that they have that nobody else offers in the area. I wouldn't have gotten that information without picking up the phone and calling those business owners in the area. So yeah, that's how it's kind of like getting really deep into that and figuring out like, okay, what is it that other people actually want and not what you think they want? Because I think sometimes business owners get tunnel vision and they think this is what people want, but they don't slow down to listen to what people are actually asking for. And sometimes you have to just call people and ask the right questions.
Well, there's a lot of things that you demonstrated with that. One is fearlessness. Like fearlessness is it can be underestimated. If people don't necessarily like picking up the phone, they don't necessarily like getting into these things. They want the information to be, just provided to them. The other thing is the hard work of doing the research and finding out what's really going on. And then the patience to, go through this process and not have it be rushed.
Yeah.
So that all comes back to the personal treatment that you're giving the client.
And I will say that the client has to allow you that patience, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes clients, and I love them all, but sometimes they don't have the patience to allow you to do that work.
Right.
They're tunnel vision and they're like, I have to have this. I saw 16 Facebook ads yesterday that said I should be making $1 million off a $50 ad launch. Why isn't it happening? It's like, you got to calm down, bro. Like, let's get to the answer together, but you have to give it some time. You have to understand your marketing might not work the first time. You have to turn on that faucet and kind of make those adjustments before you actually have this beautiful, well-oiled machine.
What's interesting to me is that, here you are telling them to be patient and telling them what you're trying to do for them is not necessarily going to work. Meanwhile, we're talking about rebranding you.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that was as I mentioned earlier, my background had been in doing PR and also, sales for companies that made commercials.
Yeah.
But I wasn't at that time writing commercials or doing branding for people.
Yeah.
And so I have this kind of meta background where I can see that you're doing something for yourself that you are also, when we can't
I'm practicing what I preach.
Yeah, you're practicing what you preach.
Yeah.
And we can't really cut our own hair. We can't do all the things for ourselves that you're focused on your clients.
Yeah.
You're focused on the deliverables that you promise them. And you can't really take your eye off that too much.
No.
So you need to kind of do your, take your own advice, but also have a little bit of room to experiment.
Yeah.
And that way you can say to them, look, we're doing this thing right now. We're relaunching our thing.
Yeah.
We're doing that. We're trying X, Y, Z. This may not work perfectly, but we're going to be patient and you have a chance to set a good example for your clients and the kind of clients you want.
Yeah.
Are you feeling like your clients are coming from different places geographically? Is it mostly where you're based? I mean, is there any?
Absolutely. So I'm fortunate in the way that I'm running a Facebook ad that gets me great leads. So I'm really fortunate in that area where I've gotten to work with people in Australia, the UK, actually nobody in Vegas.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
It's
yeah.
like, very international and national. People on the East Coast, I've gotten some referrals that are really great. But yeah, that's primarily how I'm getting it. So it's a very national and international type thing. It's not necessarily, I haven't even had time to get in the Vegas market and like get face to face with people and start doing the networking thing.
Right.
Because my time is just.
Well, because this whole thing was born in the time of COVID and also, people not being able to get out there as much.
Yeah.
And then to get out there and meet people who you have never met before.
Right.
Is hard.
Yeah.
But the national international thing now brings us back to the big, beautiful thing concept.
Yeah.
So I still like that idea.
I think it's fun.
And I think, and again, like you can try there's different iterations and different things. I often tell clients, there's a campaign that you can do that is about messaging, but it's not your only message. And it's not your, you could do if we checked it now, we said, oh, there's like 3 other big, beautiful things out there, which I don't know if there are or not, but you always got to check. But if I found it, I would go, you know what? I would still do like a big, beautiful thing event. Make your thing a big, beautiful thing. Make your thing a big, beautiful thing. It's not terrible either.
Fun. It's so fun.
Make your thing. Make your thing a big, beautiful thing.
MYVA.
Well,
BT.
F-
I'm trying to think of an acronym for
BBT,
that.
BBT is big,
BBT.
beautiful thing.
BBT.
Make your thing a BBT. See, it's those little things that just kind of stick with you, and then they're
Yeah.
fun to play with. And you never know where it will end up.
Right.
You know, like as a comedian, I would write bits and you would go on stage and work them out. And that's how you know if they, that's how you know if they're good, is like, do they keep a Zoom?
It sounds like you have done a lot of super cool stuff.
Yeah,
A lot of super cool stuff. So out of all of the stuff that you've done, what is your absolute favorite? And like the thing that has lit you up the most out of all of this?
Well, I think being a dad is probably the best thing. Like that's the thing that's incomparable to any kind of professional, job. And it's fascinating. Their children are just, they're just fascinating people.
They are.
And then I think if we look at the professional landscape, I do think that stand-up comedy is the favorite thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that I would rather be doing stand-up today than this. I would rather be doing this, but there's something about it that when you have put in the hours, and I put in a lot of time, doing it and being, bombing or doing, or just getting nervous or trying something that wasn't really me.
Yeah.
But finding that sweet spot was like an amazing core memory for me to go on stage and kill. And it was the time that it was at the Comedy Store in LA. And it was what they call the OR, the original room, which is a room that overlooks the street. It's a smaller room, but it was one of those things where I just felt like I was in total command and I just was in my element. And at that moment, I was good at that. And that first feeling of that, which took a couple years probably, was like, that's a great feeling. And then I realized you just do that throughout your life. You try to get really good at something and have that moment. And it doesn't have to be every day.
No. And that bleeds so much back into even what we're talking about with people doing their marketing stuff.
Yeah.
Is them thinking like, oh, this is instantly going to be a smash hit and everybody's going to buy from me on my first try. Like it really takes in business ownership, in stand-up comedy, in father and motherhood, it takes that trial and error and then that golden sweet spot of like, oh my gosh, I got it right today.
Yeah. And isn't it worth it?
Yeah.
It's like, all the things that didn't quite work.
Yeah.
But you did it.
And there's
figured
lessons,
it out.
So many lessons in all of that.
You figure it out. And then those lessons get imparted hopefully to other people, get repurposed.
Yeah.
Because now you've been through this thing and you can help them with that. That's why I think there are so many coaches and so many consultants and it's obviously we're exposed to it a lot because we're doing podcasting. But the fact is that I think people learn things and then they have the opportunity to share it.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
And that's why it's so cool to work with coaches that really care about their clients, is because then you're playing a part in them making that impact, right? When you work with brands that have purpose or you're working with people you love having relationships with, you're part of that impact they're making in lives.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not directly impacting the person the coach that I'm working with. It might not be me to impact,
right?
But I get to help
you have some ownership,
impact those lives. And so I love getting behind a message that I can be passionate about, because then I feel like I'm purposeful in everything that I'm doing.
Yeah. And you should feel that way.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what are you either working on now, or what's lying right ahead for you?
I feel like right now this is a break for me being here. Right.
Yeah.
I feel like my head is buried in execution mode.
Mm.
And so I am for the first time trying to pull my head out of the sand since I've started, so that I can focus on rebranding my company. But also I've learned so much in this past few years that I think that there's this elevation for my clients this year, that it's just leaning into them and giving them everything that I've got and applying a lot of those things that I've learned to help them grow and to reach those audiences so that they can impact those people, and getting to be a part of that.
We could actually close with a little game. I do this game called Fortunately, Unfortunately. And it usually doesn't go very long because it's not so easy, but it's a good exercise to get creative about your company.
Okay.
So for example, the way it is that like with the yes and rule, I'm never negating anything you're saying, but I do have a counterpoint.
Got it.
So in other words, I say, well, Chelsea, fortunately, And we'll do it about it. It doesn't have to be about your company because that
Okay.
can be too complicated with your headspace, right? So I say, well, fortunately, after this, we're all going to go outside and record. And so we're going to get a change of environment.
And then do I say,
And
unfortunately,
you say,
it's freezing
unfortunately,
outside?
whatever you want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's snowing and the iron in the the hotel room didn't work, so I don't have an iron jacket.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
well, fortunately, I have prepared for everyone bodysuits that are heated to 120 degrees. And so you'll get one of those that you can wear outside.
Fortunately.
Yes.
Shoot, what's unfortunate about that?
Well, I don't know. It could be too hot and you could overheat in this suit. There's a
I
reason
just
why
get-
these don't go on.
I just get-
It's funny. This is what we call improv because we're doing it without a net.
Well, I just want to get gross and be like, unfortunately, I don't know if I have enough deodorant on for that.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's perfect. That's perfect. You say, unfortunately, I don't know if I have enough deodorant. I would say, well, fortunately, we're all naturists and we don't wear deodorant. None of us do.
Oh, unfortunately, nature has creeped me out. That's
Oh,
not true.
That's a Drew.
That's not true.
I'm making that up. Yeah. I tried this game with one of my sons. It didn't work. It put too much pressure on him.
I think fortunately is an easier place to be
Oh,
in than
that.
unfortunately.
Well, I don't know. I'd had a very successful, unfortunately one.
Yeah.
I would ask you to just leave an imparting message let you have the last word. And you can give a message to the audience, to people out there who are dealing with their own brands, trying to break through the plateau that they may be on.
Well, maybe it's just, going back to what the topic was or, off topic is that you have to fail to succeed and that there's lessons in every failure. So just lean into those failures and as much as they suck, feel the suck because someday there's going to be an amazing feeling at the end of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the two lessons are feel the suck and give a shit.
Yeah. I feel
Because
the
if
suck
you give a shit, it's worth it to feel the suck because eventually you're going to feel a lot better.
how eloquently you put
And
it.
you'll be surprised how quickly that shit doesn't suck anymore.
Perfect. I love it.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Yeah. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Alright.
If you liked the show,
Yes, and?
it worked for you,
Yes, then?
subscribe and leave a
Yes, friend.
5-star review.
Yes, friend.
Tell all your friends.
Yes, friend.
Get your branding here.
Yes, friend.
Get your branding here.
Yes, friend.
Did I make it clear?
Yes, friend.
Get your branding on
Yes.
before they're gone.